Okay, so today we're going to be working on this 2008 Volkswagen GTI and doing essentially the timing belt, all the pulleys that get replaced with that, and the water pump. So we'll start right here. We've already taken the screws out and undone the clips there for the air, and we'll go ahead and pull that top cover off. Okay, so here's the kit that comes with the belt. And all the different pulleys and stuff here. We've got a few instructions here. It talks about so the precautions: we're going to remove the battery ground cable off of here, the back one. Take out the spark plug so it's easier to turn the engine. It says we're going to raise the front of the vehicle, disconnect electrical harness from the mass airflow sensor. We've removed the engine top cover. We'll remove the lower splash guard, the inner fender panel on this right side to give us room to work with the front of the engine, which is on the right side. The accessory belt, drive belt, intentioner, air intake pipe, lower engine mount, damper and bracket, and then we'll drain the coolant. So those are some of the first steps that we'll get started on here. Okay, so we've got this out, and now you can see how much access it gives you here. We can see the front of the engine up under here. It'll give us a little more room to work the bottom side of this. So next is going to be the put a ratchet on the lower bolt of the tensioner down here and crank it over this way, actually towards me, to loosen up this belt and pull the serpentine belt off of everything. And the airline here, those will be the next ones. All right. Okay, so we got the 8mm, got the T30 Torx. Let's see, we're able to pull those off. Is that about right? There we go. Don't want to lose that. Keep your finger in front of there. See if you can pull that rubber hose off of it. There you go. We're underneath here, so we are gonna. That might give you a little more room on this, though. Since that's yeah. There we go. Sweet. I'm using a 17mm. I think this is probably a 16mm bolt down there, but I don't have the a 16 in my collection, so just got a breakover, 3/8 breakover bar on it, and you'll be able to see that even when I crank on it right now, I can get it loose enough that you can probably just about pull it off there, Chan. Feel it without that bar. Get ready to slide this belt right here by my pinky off. Mm-hmm. You got it? Yes. There we go. So there's that. Got these little clamps here. Maybe pull these off to get them out of the way. Give us a little more room in there. We're pulling off these 3 lines. This one here didn't have anything in it. This one's got some fuel under pressure in it, and this one I haven't gotten off yet. Just pulled the clamps off is all. So we're gonna have a piece of towel in here, or get some towel in here to soak it up. Once the pressure's relieved, it should be fine. But it just, as I was pulling on this, it started spraying out a little bit. Okay, so we've pulled these off. Got a little bit of a problem with this one here on the plastic thing. Didn't want to let loose, and then the metal inside that tube decided to come on out. So we still haven't got it loose. We'll worry about getting this on there afterwards later, but that allows us to get these out of the way. We've pulled off the tensioner, 3 bolts. Bottom one's pretty tough because I got it from underneath, and I had to keep the pulley pulled out of the way to get in there and get that bolt with a wrench and an air ratchet kind of between the two to get it worked out. So take out the coolant reservoir with a couple T20s. We can get that after we pull it out. See if we can set it aside without draining it. And then we go to work on all of this here to get the motor mounts off. So while he's taking off the tank, I'll go ahead and get the jack set up for the front of the engine under there. Access plug right here. Pull out so that we can get into one of those bolts inside there. These are 16s. Again, I've got 17 sockets, but it's working for me. What?
The same piece?
Yeah, but you need you get a 13, it's a 3/8 drive. So
Just hold it?
yep. To get that thing out. Okay, and then this is the 18 millimeter. And you can see it had a little bit of engine weight there. So let me check under here. Let's make sure we're good to go. Yep. So loose.
See if we're getting right there.
Now pull that chunk out of there.
This part?
The whole thing. Yep. Should be good to go. Now we get to, now's where we got to lift it up to get to the bolt in here. And the other one we can get to through that access hole. I'm just jacking it up. Let me know when we're clear. Are we clear of that hole? Think we can get on that bolt yet? Maybe a little more.
Which one? I want to see what they're looking at.
There's a
Is it
bolt
inside
right
there?
in the end of here. Yep.
Yeah, I can.
So it's a 16 actually. So again, I haven't used a 17 socket here. Sure. Looked like it. It looked like it was wobbling. Yeah, it's a long one. And then now, see down here, you'll need if you get that 6-inch wobble, if you get the 6-inch wobble extension there, it'll give you just, I think, enough on the end there. Yeah, that's the one you're going for. Lower it down here to where I can get access to this bolt up in here. So go ahead and just slowly let it down a little more. Okay, so I'm starting to see it right there. That's probably gonna be good enough right there. So we've raised this up, trying to get this out, and it won't. We can't clear this this piece of the body here. So I'm thinking, with the way they recess down in here on both sides, that we'll have to just take it off at the same time we pull that cover off. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling off the Torx head T30s here and get the cover off. Okay, so we got the top cover off, tight fit getting out of there behind this hose here. But got that out, and so now we're still trying to get this motor mount out. Let me take this off here. I'll take this one out and see if I can get that. So getting that one bolt off right there so that this hose could get out of the way. We were trying to undo that earlier and couldn't get to it, or couldn't get it off, but just undoing this here allowed it to come up enough. Bracket out involved taking loose the hold down here for the AC lines up front here, and doing this clamp that was holding the AC lines so we could get some flex here and kind of pull them up, especially back in the back. Let's get in here and undo this plastic clamp that's over the two AC lines. The right side of it here is where it pops out and opens up like a clamshell from the right to the left, hinged on the left as we're looking at it, and then that'll give you the room you can pop those lines out of those little plastic the holders And that's what'll give you the ability to pull them up and get them up over that ledge up above here to the left. So right now I've got the air conditioning lines pulled up in a way they're unclipped back there at the back and the bottom, which allowed me to pull them up and get the bins of the two lines up over the edge of that frame rail, which these are quite up high. And unfortunately there aren't any videos that really help you get this bracket out of there. The problem is that it is so deep that you can't clear. I mean, you can just see me trying it right here. The frame rail is there and the front of that is touching the engine. So getting that out is no fun. So we're going to go ahead and try to get the bottom part of the cover off. And go to, oh, it's coming. But we are getting ready to rotate the engine so that we can line up these witness marks. This being the one on the cam, that little notch, that little line, and then this one, arrow, being the one on the head, if you will. So we're going to rotate around until those are lined up. Oh, that turns easy. I forgot about the plugs. So I'm turning it clockwise.
Yes. Keep going. Get like a quarter turn left.
Oh, okay.
Alright, come check it. I think you might have been just a little bit past it. Oh, no, you're good right there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this particular one has these weird 12-point female bolts. And then here's the 12-point male on the center stud here. That one I was able to use just a 13/16 socket 6-point, and it was able to get in there on the outside of this and fits pretty perfectly. And then for these, I've got a an 8mm Allen wrench that I'm going to try to get on there inside there. Well, he held the center of the shaft so it wouldn't rotate. I would tap the end of the 8mm Allen wrench and crack them all loose. Once they cracked loose, they were all pretty, they're coming out by hand like you see. Doing it. There we go. Now we can get at these other bolts. The torch head bolt right here on the front of the cover, which I'm not focusing on or seeing, is stripping out inside the head. Not cool. So we'll mess with it a little more and try it, but otherwise we'll probably have to Dremel a slot across it and try to get a screwdriver in there on it. So we've got one screw right there that we've had to cut the head off. So we have to pull that one out. Should be able to get some vice grips on it now and get it. There's another screw that was behind this bracket, somewhere over around in here, that when we got the bracket out, we were finally able to unscrew that bolt and get the timing cover off. Alright, so I'm going to mark this here too, just so that we have this, just so we have record of this. For the bottom as well. Okay, so we're going to loosen the tensioner pulley nut slightly. Okay. Fully insert an Allen wrench into the tensioner pulley. So that's that top one. Turn the tensioner pulley slowly counterclockwise until the timing belt can be easily removed. Oh, so you're turning the whole thing?
Yeah.
Can it be easily removed yet? Not yet, so keep going. Come to the right again a little bit. There you go, because right there seems the loosest, doesn't it? So leave it right there. And then we'll just have to try to, I mean, it's loose.
Oh, here go my fingers. Okay.
There you go. Okay, so you're seeing which way it was on there, so that when you put the other one on, you can do the same?
Around Hot Wheels.
Yeah, except that one goes inside that one, so it's inside these little pulleys too, which we'll be replacing. This hose right here was in our way. We went to take it off and move the clamp down, but they've got it glued to this plastic. Okay, so we were also doing the water pump here, which is this. This is why we do it at the same time. So thankfully our bolt that we had to grind the tip off of, because it was seized in there, is this one here in the water pump. So now we'll just go ahead and take out these 3 bolts. Okay, so just take this screw off of that tensioner. I think it just comes off. Well, that's super simple on that one. And then we'll add the new one right here. I get to reuse the nut. Yeah. That's why you got to keep a hand on the
Well, you know,
top of it.
working with limited space because I bought a stupid tiny car. Never again.
Okay, so we got that pulley on there. They are different. One of them has a little bit of a stud that pokes out the back end, and this one sits on a boss that sticks out from the engine block. So 12 millimeter bolt head on this one, 13 on this one, so some of the differences. But all right, so now we're gonna get a 10 millimeter and take off the water pump. It's the plastic that was a stowaway. So I'm just trying to keep some pressure behind it while I fly over here and try to get those seals to pop. Kind of working it back and forth. The tip where it was, and then, yeah, like that. Because I'm going to be prying the bottom here, trying to get these seals to pop out.
That has seals on it?
Yeah, it's got the rubber O-rings up in there, so. Okay, I got that popped out. And when we pull this out, all the water came flowing out. So that is, well, you want to make sure you got a bucket under there. We got most of it. We got other bits that are still draining. All right, so you can see it just has the rubber seal around the top here, and it was pretty rusty around the edge there. So just hard to get that to pop loose. Pump was fine, it wasn't leaking, but since we're in here doing the timing belt, replace the pump. Okay, so I'm going to clean up this, where it's a little bit rough in here. Just try to clean it up a little bit. I don't have any emery paper or anything, but I'll just take a little super fine grit sandpaper and just hit it real quick. I don't want to remove material, I just want to get rid of that rusty build-up layer so that the new seal can make a good seal. Pump. Some grease on there just to help it get past that lip there. Yeah, it's pretty flush right there. Just working it back and forth. Sweet. All right. Yeah, it goes like right down here.
Maybe it's too long.
Snug that. Alright, feels like it's almost a perfect torque. There we go.
You said this is 13?
Should be.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got the new tensioner and the bolt that goes with it. Just goes in there like that. And then that one does get torqued to 19 foot-pounds, so we'll do that after we tension it. I'm just gonna put that on there. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun, huh?
Need to make sure the little marks were aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Feels like that's starting to go, but that one doesn't feel like it's going yet. That all looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm supposed to position, rotate this slowly until the notch is above the tab. So here's the tab. The right end of this has a little tab on it. And here, right here, comes the notch. So and there it is, right there, it's on the top of it. There it went. I want to make sure I could hear it. Okay, 19 foot pounds. I'm going to turn this 2 turns clockwise to make sure that it is still, all the timing marks are still good. Because the crankshaft, if it makes 2 full turns, that means it's gone. So that piston was already on the compression, so now it's coming around and going up through an exhaust cycle. And then it's going to be coming around and going up through for another compression. But there we go. That's 2 full turns. Those are lined up.
Oh, Sharpie.
Yeah. And so are those. So down the lower cover with the 4 bolts down at the bottom. And then what is it? There'd be one on the right, one on the left, and one in the middle, but our one in the middle we had to cut off, taking this off, so now we don't have that one. Center one, so there's the locating hole right there, and that will go down there. As far as the way this is, it'd be the bottom right. Yep, exactly. There goes nothing. The beast. Has to go in there. So like before, is it going to be so close? But yet so far. That's just plastic crunching. Probably a piece that I glued. So close down here. Gosh, it feels like it's past it. Why won't that drop down? What's that hitting? Oh, look at that. Yeah. First, to try to make that possible was really all about those AC lines, having those up like that. So now I'll try to push them back down there and get them clamped back down. We've got the engine mount all fastened down in there, all 3 of those bolts. Now we'll get that top cover in. We've got the AC lines back there that I described from underneath. Clamp them back down on top here, as well as the clamp down in here. And so next step would be the that top of that cover and the motor mount here. So we get this all fastened back up. Okay, time to get the tensioner back on there. Yeah, so we'll get the top 2 bolts in first. So go ahead and feed it down through there and get it on that top alternator pulley. Let me get it on these here.
Why is this so hard?
It's all gonna line up pretty good, so.
These ones?
Yeah, the one with the little, well, yeah, these 2 will go in here.
Okay. Do you want WD-40 on them or not?
Yeah, just put them in. These didn't give us a problem. That other one you've got right there goes in the other side.
I cannot twist these that quick with my left hand. I don't know why.
Okay, so what we're doing here, we've got the last thing we showed you was getting the belt tensioner on, and then now we've put the coolant reservoir back over here and attached to the line. and this bracket on top of the motor mount here for the coolant hose, filler hose, I believe. It's probably over there. Yeah, washer fluid, sorry. And these are just kind of placed over here right now. We're going to have to replace this one hose here that we snapped off. But other than that, I think we're getting pretty close here. I'm going to go ahead and snug up the plugs that we had loosened up so that we could crank it easier, or rotate it easier. Alright, so now back in with the air pipe and start putting back in the fender, skirt, and the front underbody. So the clips, I'm going to put them on with the tangs going backwards here. So now that's ready to go. And then, it'll be a matter of, there you go. That one went in good. Just about back together. Oh, you're going that part first.
As opposed to what?
Well, I didn't know if you'd have more room to work in there putting in that. Oh, it has to go. Oh, that is what goes on. Never mind.
Yeah, but you can't really do it like that.
The system all drained. It took a while for the fluid to suck out of the reservoir. It's down in the normal range right now. Probably about 10 minutes of sitting there at idle. A little bit of revving just to get it warm enough where it would open up. A lot of air in the system. We replaced most of a gallon. I think we took almost exactly a gallon out of it when we drained it back into a bottle from the drain pan. So I think we're pretty close. We'll check it again after we drive it a little bit. We've torqued the wheel